Brought to you by Penguin.
The Trembling Hand by Mathelinda Nabugodi. Read by Natalie Simpson. Imagine yourself at the dentist. You are reclined in the patient chair. Your mouth is open wide. Your eyes are tearing from the glare of the bright light overhead. You are surrounded by trays laden with ominous tools, a horrible drilling noise. The dental nurse presses a suction device against the delicate membrane beneath your tongue, while the dentist navigates around your gums. The taste and texture of their clinical gloves makes you retch. But there is no saliva to swallow, and you are not sure what is going on, or when it will finally end. You squeeze your eyes shut. You open them again, but there is nothing to focus on except the noise, and the suction, and the drill, and then an icy pain shooting through your nerves straight into your brain. It is like a lightning bolt, but also not. It is powdery and stale. It vaguely tastes of blood. That particular jolt, that is what the word Negro feels like in my mouth. In contemporary British English, Negro is too often treated as an archaic term rather than the slur that it is. There is a common-sense notion that it was normal at the time, though what exact time is rarely specified. That is not true. The word has always carried derogatory, dehumanizing, and contemptuous associations. While it derives from the Latin word for black, neger, in the ancient world, this term was not the primary means of identifying people of African descent, who were known by geographical appellations such as Africanus, Ethiops, or Maurus, which became African, Ethiop, and Moor in medieval and early modern English. Ethiopia is a classical name for Africa south of the Sahara, while Maurus refers to the people of Mauritania in the north of the continent. The word Negro entered the English language via the Spanish and Portuguese, the pioneers in developing the slave economies of the so-called New World. In the 15th century, as the transatlantic slave trade got underway, Negro began to gradually supplant other terms for people of African heritage. Even as the word became more widely used, it always retained a close conceptual association with enslavement. By the 18th century, additional terms had emerged to name people of African descent in the specific context of plantation slavery. British colonial authorities obsessed over the disproportion between white minority and black majority populations in the West Indies, and regularly produced demographic statistics. These data often distinguished between three categories of Afro-descendant people: Negroes, free blacks, and people of colour. The epithet of colour implied a person with mixed heritage who had lighter skin, but this was above all a cultural category. People of colour were free, assimilated into Western culture, and often had some disposable income or property that could even include the ownership of enslaved persons. In most cases, their privilege came down to being acknowledged by their white parent, almost invariably the father, who would not only safeguard their freedom, but also facilitate access to educational and vocational opportunities, and potentially let them inherit assets on his death. There was therefore a clear link between social status and what we today term proximity to whiteness. The demographic category of free blacks may have carried an association of darker skin tones, but the main determinant seems to have been a conceptual distance from whiteness. That is, free black was used of a person of African descent who was less culturally assimilated into white society compared to a person of colour.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?